What's up, Planeswalkers? 36 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena. Be sure to head over to flipsidegaming.com, use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. It's a good deal and it helps support the channel. And they do currently have a sweet deal where you have $8 for all the different types of dragon shields, the mats and the normals. $8. That's a fantastic deal. I actually bought myself some of those sweet dragon shields for $8 because it's a good deal. And I needed some new sleeves for the D&D show. Now, today we're going to play the Cascade Constructed event, and I'm going to do something I've done in the past with these kind of weird events, is I'm going to show you guys my actual process in building the deck. It shouldn't take very long, because I do already have some idea of exactly what I want to do. So in this Cascade Constructed event, when you cast a spell, you can essentially cascade. So you reveal top cards until you hit a non-land that has less mana cost, and then you get to play it. So I've heard that a large number of people are playing Lavinia in order to kind of stymie the people's ability to actually get those free cards because of what Lavinia says. And actually I should just go and get Lavinia so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. So each opponent can't cast non-creature spells, etc., etc. But whenever opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter it, right? So she specifically says counter, which means a lot of people have been turning to... where is it? Rhythm of the Wild to counteract this, because it means your creature spells can't be countered. So what that means is, what we want to do is build a deck that uses both. I'm going to be playing 4-color Cascade Constructed. Now, the idea essentially is, Lavinia is going to be important for countering other people, and then our own Rhythm of the Wild is going to be important for countering other things. So essentially what we're going to want to do is build our deck in such a way that the majority of what we get are creatures that have a nice value to them. So for example, early on, and I'm actually going to go through this one at a time, early on I think the best creature to get is Llanowar Elf, and the reason for that is to make sure that I'm able to ramp a little bit in terms of my mana mana efficiency and things. You could argue that something like Open the Gates would be better since you get to choose colors, but I'm going to go with Llanowar Elves for now. And usually you might want to add things like Shock, but as I said, we do want to make sure that we get a lot of value off our Rhythm of the Wild. Now, it is important to note that Lavinia only counts your opponent's cards, and Rhythm of the Wild, based on the Cascade Constructed, if you cast Rhythm of the Wild, it comes in before... it comes in after what is getting cascaded. So if I cast Rhythm of the Wild and I cascade into a Llanowar Elves, that Llanowar Elves is not going to have Riot because Rhythm of the Wild is still on the stack. So that is just something that I think should be taken into account. And then, of course, I'm going to also include Navigator's Compass. And the reason I'm including Navigator's Compass, even though it isn't a creature, is because it will help us a lot in making sure we can actually cast our spells because we're playing a nonsense deck. And I do think that when you're playing a Cascade Constructed, you don't want to maximize your number of 1-drops, but you still want them there to be able to utilize your 2-drops well. So next up, we're going to look at our 2-drops. And I do like, in this style of gameplay, to go through each of the individual CMCs to determine what exactly we're looking for. So I'm actually just going to scroll through relatively quickly here and think what cards are things that are going to really help me in this kind of Cascade style event. You could say Revitalize, but as we've mentioned already, with Lavinia being allegedly prevalent, I haven't actually played the games at all. That might be not great. Tithe Taker is something that we could consider. Tocatli Honor Guard I don't think is too necessary because a lot of this is going to be like cast stuff. So that, I mean, it's something that you can definitely consider later on, but for right now, I think Tithe Taker is so far the best option. Let's see here. We'll keep going. Search for Scanta is okay, but it's not, in my opinion, the best. It does help you a little bit to set things up and make sure you can actually draw lands and things, but not necessary. Definitely Daredevil is okay, but if a lot of people are playing Lavinia, then not a lot of people are going to be playing instants and sorceries specifically. Let's see here. Lava Coils, good removal. I did predict that the 2-drop slot would kind of go to a 2-mana creature that also makes mana of any color. So I might end up doing that, just again to make sure we can hit our kind of redonkulous things at the upper echelons of mana. Growth Guardian is another one of those cards that's just kind of valuable. It's actually better for me to do that than Drove of the Mighty. But as you can see, I'm just going through one at a time for the mana cost. This is okay, but I think in this specific situation, it's not something I actually want. Depose Deploy, I love that card, and I think it's really good, but I don't think it's worthwhile in this situation. Imperious Oligarch is not better than Tithe Taker because of the fact that it costs a more stringent mana requirement. I mean, Thought Erasure is hilarious, but I don't think it's necessary. Glowspore Shaman is something that can help you fix your lands, but I don't think it's necessary. Cindervines is something that's interesting, but where is she? Lavinia already kind of deals with that. And if we end up just doing a really light splash of blue in an otherwise Naya deck, I think that's totally fine. I do consider Amara to be pretty good. Actually, Flower Flourish might be a card that I want to play, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Do we want Krasis? We do, because X is variable for Krasis, so I think Krasis is... You know what? Krasis actually isn't good, because if you Cascade into it, X is going to be 0, because you can't choose X. So I think I'm going to actually skip out on Krasis here. I'm probably not going to have too many multicolored spells, so I don't think there's a lot in this section. Maybe Treasure Map, but as I said, I do want to keep it kind of here. So I think what I'm going to do is have a decent number of creatures in this situation, and instead of going, excuse me, instead of going with Tithe Taker, ooh, you know what, though? If your opponent's playing a lot of instants, Tithe Taker makes it even harder for them to Cascade, because then they have to pay for the Cascade as well. That said, I think for now, we're just gonna shove this in the sideboard, which I forgot I can't do on this screen anymore. I don't know why Wizards did that, but I think we're gonna do that, and then we'll go ahead and put some Growth Chamber Guardians in. As you can see, we're already kind of like thick up, but you know, this is just where we are right now, and it will likely change. So next up, we'll go to 3s. I'm probably gonna end up stopping around 5 mana. Maybe I'll have 1 or 2 6s, but I think for the most part, you just want the kind of value here. And here there are plenty of value cards, right? Militia Bugler is looking decent considering what we have right now, so we'll go ahead and put that in, just because it's a nice way to continually gain some card advantage. We are likely going to have very few non-creature spells, and that's purely because of the fact that we want to maximize our efficiency with our Cascades. And creatures win games. Let's see. Counterspells are a lot worse in this format because of the fact that the Cascade trigger happens regardless of whether or not the actual spell we're casting resolves. Gutter Snap, it's not necessary. Honestly, Legion Warboss seems fine. Not amazing, but it seems fine. But I think I would rather have Militia Bugler in that exact case. I'm going for a good 3-drop. What would a good 3-drop be? Jadelight Ranger is a good 3-drop. But I don't know if I want Jadelight Ranger because of the cost requirements. You could, theoretically, do, instead of like Incubation Druid and Growth Chamber Guardian, you could definitely put the Explore package in here. But I'm not sure how well that would work with you necessarily. I think Deputy of Detention is one of those good 3s that really helps out. I like the idea of Mortify, but we're not in those colors. I forgot that it shows me the colors I'm not in. I am what? Blackless? Yes, I'm blackless, so I can't really pay attention to anything that's black in its mana cost. Those are black. Growth Spellbreaker, it seems quite decent as well. Night of Autumn, another one that seems pretty decent. And we'll figure out what exactly we want to be doing with them here. I don't think there are any... You could argue that we need Chromatic Lantern. But that might be a little not valuable enough. But you know what I'll do is I will go ahead and do... Oh, wait. I hate that so much. Let us go ahead and just put it on artifacts so we can actually go back to this. Because Wizards doesn't make a thing. Doesn't make a system that remembers what the heck we've had it on. I have no idea why. Let's put Chromatic Lantern in there. Yeah, just in case we want to actually do something with that. So, undo artifacts, go to 4. 4, I think, is pretty easy. I think we pretty much just focus on things like Rekindling Phoenix, because those are just really annoying and resilient cards. How much white are we playing? So we're not playing too much white right now. It's mostly actually just a green-red deck with a little bit of splash for white and blue. Shalai does seem okay. She does help out our situation quite a bit. I think, honestly, at this point, we can very easily just skip over most of blue, because blue is going to be a pretty light splash. And let's see the rest of this. I think Rekindling Phoenix is good. I don't know whether or not it's going to be fantastic, just because of the fact that, you know, we have to pay double red for it. I mean, you could argue things like Path and Nullhead Ferox, but I'm just not a giant fan of those. Just need blacklist things. Blacklist, these are black, go away. Crackling Drake's not good. These are black, go away. Domri is interesting considering the number of creature spells we are playing. So actually, let's decide to go with some Domri. Yeah, let's go with a little bit of Domri in our lives. Aurelia is another one that seems pretty dang good. Is Aurelia better than Domri in this deck? I don't think so. I think for the most part this is going to be like a mainly Gruul style of deck. And I don't see myself... Yeah, I don't need any of these. And let's go to 5 now. Okay. At 5, what are we looking at? I think at 5, Lyra's Dees. We're just going to skip blue, because I don't think it's necessary to include blue at this juncture. This seems Dees. Ooh, Biogenic Ooze. Biogenic Ooze is also always fun. Tenshi Dread, always fun. Vivian Reed, quite good, but not a creature. And we are at the point where we're likely going to need to cut down a lot. Nikia of the Old Ways is really interesting because it does accelerate the crap out of our mana. But is that something that we want? Well, because we're only going to have, like, Rhythm of the Wilds and probably Domri as our non-creatures. No, I would rather just later on make a dedicated Nikia deck. Tristani seems good. And then we'll go to 6. And just have a few of these. So I think, yeah. So we are going to have to cut down quite substantially. But I think that's fine. Atali, you got to do it to him every time. I'm probably just going to have one Atali. Sunbird's Invocation is like a double up on things. I think I'm going to have a single Mirror March because I love that card, even though it hates me. And I think I'm also going to have a Pelakka Wurm because I can't not... Ooh, Ravager Wurm is actually... I'm sorry, Pelakka Wurm. I think Ravager Wurm is what I'm going to do here. Okay, so I think we have kind of the idea for what exactly we're doing here. So I am going to go ahead and just, like, quad up most things. And then from there, I will figure out what exactly I want to do. I'm not quadding that up because I don't actually want quad of those. This will be 3, this will be 3, this will be 3. I'm probably actually going to get rid of that. Probably, honestly, just have one of each of those. And then, like, 3 of those. Okay. And first, actually, I'm going to go into here. And I hate that... Oh, right. These filters are not great. In my honest, humble opinion, these filters are not great. So we're going to go ahead and plop some of these in there for now. And we'll figure out exactly how many we want to put where. So, blue and red. Sure, why not? Anything that isn't black is good to us. It is good thing that I am brown. Let's see, Grove and Garden, Pool and Harbor, and I think that is it. And we might want Evolving Wilds, but I don't know if we're going to have enough, like, actual lands left to realistically play. So we have 8 blue things, but let's first, before we actually go into deciding our mana base, let's first, I have to move my mic, try and figure out what exactly we want here. I think Lavinia we're only going to want 3 of, because she is a legend, and we don't want too many of her. This leaves us with 11. I think I would rather go down to 10. So even though it does mess up our Growth Dreamer Guardian chains a little bit, I think going down on this is fine. Ranger helps a ton in fixing our mana, but it is double green. So I think I would rather get rid of that. Knight of Autumn, very valuable. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 20 here. That is a substantial amount of cards. I think I actually want this as kind of like a silver bullet. So I think what I might do is chuck this down a bit and chuck this down a bit. Right, so that leaves us with 6, 12, 18. 18 still seems like it is a bit much, and I can go here just to check my thing. So 18 is a little bit much, but let's go ahead and go to 5. And did I actually do my math wrong? 6, 12, 16. I can't do basic math. So our 5s are also quite glutted, right? So I think here Lyra is... I'll put her as a 2 of. I'll put this as a 2 of. I'll drop Tennis Dried completely. And do I want to also drop Skarrgan Hellkite completely? I don't think I do. I think... Ooh, yeah, okay. I think I want to have this as a 1 of. I think, honestly, we'll have this as a 1 of as well. And I think 1 ofs in this style of format are totally fine. And how many 6s? This is 5 6s. That might be a little more than I need. So this is like that. So let's go back here. We see that now we're looking at a better curve, right? And you really want the glut to be around the 3, because that can get the rest of these, and all of the 4, 5s, and 6s can get those 3s. So I think that is still what you want here. But we're still 79 cards too many. Or not 79, we're 19 cards too many. And I think we're just essentially going to be trimming row by row. And I think honestly, Domri probably isn't good enough because it can only do red and green. So we're going to just cut Domri completely. I don't think that is something that we necessarily need. Let's trim down that as well. And let's go over here. We can trim down our silver bullets a little bit more. And we don't necessarily need all of that. Actually, you know what? Looking at it again, we have so many creatures that we can get with Bugler, but so many that we can't. So we're actually just going to drop Bugler entirely. But I do think that messes up our curve just a little bit. As you can see, it raises everything up relatively speaking. That said, the 4s here I think I'm mostly fine with. I'd probably drop down 1 Shalai. So we're still needing to get rid of 7 cards. Mirror March is so good. Italia is so good. You know what, I'll just do like one of each because I really want to play with both of these cards. So we're looking at now 3, 6, 6. So we'll drop one of our 5s. And I guess I would rather drop Lyra than Biogenic Ooze just because of the fact that Ooze is not a legend. So it's 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 8. 5, 6, 9, 10, 8. So let's drop our 3 drops down to 8 as well. And I think the best way to do that is probably just to drop a Spellbreaker, just a single Spellbreaker. And I don't think we want to drop our 2s down. No, I don't think we want to drop our 2s down, really. So where exactly can we remove some things? We only have 9 non-creatures, and those are Navigator's Compass, Mirror March, and Rhythm of the Wild. So I dropped a single Compass. You know what, let's try and drop 2 Compass. It might be a bad idea, depending on how exactly our mana does shake up. But let's drop that, and we have... Let's drop Growth Chamber Guardian. I mean, at that point, there's not really a point in running Growth Chamber Guardian, so... We'll bring back in Tithe Taker. And we'll up that to 2. So we're looking at, how's the curve right now? We're looking at a decent-ish curve. It is centered down on 2 a little bit more than I'd like. You know what? Is there a better 2-drop? Just a single 2-drop. 2-drop creature. Just to have as a 1-of. That's the question. Tocatli Honor Guard, do we have a large number of ETBs? We have a decent number of ETBs, so we don't want our own Tocatli. Omen Speaker actually seems reasonable. I think I'm going to go with Omen Speaker. Yeah, I think that's fine. So now what we want to do is we want to look at, and we have to, of course, do this here, because the game hates us. We want to look at this. Okay, so we don't need that much blue or white, right? So first things first, we're actually just going to straight up get rid of these because there are so many. There's only so many we can get, right? So what is the most thing that we need? We need red and green, right? Mostly green, but a bit more red. So these are going to be up to probably 3 each. We need red and green. So our red, white, and then our green, blue we don't need much of. Why do I feel like I'm missing something here? Green, blue, green, white. Red, white, red, green. Blue, red. And I missed Hallowed Fountain. Why do I feel dumb? I have all of them. Except for the Hallowed Fountain. Yeah, I'm just going insane. So what do I want to do here? The blue ones we don't have much of. We have a little bit of the red. I think we're just going to have not very many basics. I don't know why they're giving us plains and islands, though. I think I need greens most of all, so let's try and do a single one of these and a single one of these and see if having no basics works out for us. But this is the deck, and this is what I'm going to call, here we go, Trash. There we go. We made a deck. It's called Trash. I apologize that doing something like this is super long, but It's for a purpose. We'll go ahead and sign up with this. Play Trash. Let's get the ball rolling. And we'll play several of these games. Probably going to have this be a little bit longer of a video than usual, because of the fact that I took 20 minutes to actually make the deck. But I do want to show kind of the way I go about building for these different formats, right? I try and think what is good in the format, what is something that people have utilized previously, and then I try and think, I try and come up with a means of attack, per se. And then I just try and look for what I want there. This is a fine hand. It's not great, but we can play an Incubation Druid on turn 2, and if we need to, we can actually play Rekindling Phoenix on turn 3. So I think this is totally fine. Hopefully our opponent's not on mono red. I've heard that some people are just playing mono red. Yeah. So good. Delicious. I love it. Okay, they're playing the white-blue, maybe Lavinia deck. Let's see how that goes. And with our Incubation Druid, I did totally forget that we're going to be able to get a, is this Lavinia? It is, okay. What'd you get? Sure. Yeah, so unfortunately, now we can't get anything. But I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine, honestly. We're going to go and play Hinterland Harbor and play out our Incubation Druid, and of course, our card's going to get countered if we decide to cast it. I'll decline. So whenever actually, I think I did this. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter it. So it would have been countered. But let's see what our opponent does here. So on our fall... That's rude. They got another Johnny's. I'm fine with that. Because they do need to kill me at some point. They do have a Lavinia, but that should be fine. Sure, sure. I'll take 2 here. Next turn, I Rhythm of the Wild. And that essentially stops Lavinia. It doesn't stop it on this one, unfortunately, and we've drawn too many. But... And once again, I will decline because it just gets countered. Hopefully they don't play another Deputy. I, of course, have more Rhythm of the Wilds, but I would rather be able to play a land out, play my own Azorius. Okay, I think we just lose from that, unless we draw one of our Night of Autumns. Well then, this deck is more powerful than I imagined. So I can't play any other Rhythm of the Wilds. Interesting. I'll play this. Yeah, decline. And I'll play this. They had this on turn 2, this on turn 3, and this on turn 4. That sucks. I might actually just need more Night of Autumns then. More Knights and more Deputy of Detentions. And they had another Ixalan's Binding. Alright. Unfortunately, I can't change things just yet. So we're going to have to, you know, grin and bear it through a few more games. Or potentially one more game. With this version. But I don't mind losing because it shows iteration. And as I said, I wanted to showcase kind of how I go about building for these sorts of things. I'm going first, and I have the... No, I do. I have the ability of playing Lavinia on turn 2. So, we're going to do that because we're also bad people. And playing Lavinia will give us some more stuff. And the way we have to do this, you have to really make sure you do this correctly. You play Clifftop Retreat first, and then Breeding Pool. And you have to pay the life for Breeding Pool. But yeah, this is totally fine. And then after that, we have Rootbound Crag untapped. I think our opponent might also be on the Azorious deck, and they're just mulliganing in order to try and get Lavinia. Nope, they're on red. Okay. Are they on burn? So it looks like they are on burn. Darn, I tried to see their deck. Alright, so this is going to hurt a little. Oh, she's probably going to die, isn't she? That's unfortunate, but it's fine. I will get something. That is totally good to have. because it means next turn I can play a Rekindling Phoenix. Or actually, it's better to play a Shalai. So I do think Shalai is still worth it in the deck. I think Shalai is still a good card to have. But I do think that more Deputies and or Knight of Autumns are in order. Our mana base seems to be working out pretty fine, which is nice. The double red seems to hurt a little. So let's see what my opponent does here. It seems that they're on the burn version. And of course, I'm a bad man for, for playing this. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I hate to be the bad guy. Feels like I'm in the dirt digging a bold hurt. Tried everything to get my mind off you, it won't work. All it takes is one song on the radio, you're right back on it, reminding me all over again how you fucking just brushed me off and left me so burnt. Let's see, oops. But luckily, since that resolves second, whatever they get, they can't cast. You can't cast it because of Lavinia. Goodbye. So Lavinia dies, which is fine, because we still have Llanowar Elves. Would we block? No, because we'd play Shalai. And they'd probably play Lava Coil, which is really annoying. So let's see here. Skarrgan is interesting to see, but we're going to go ahead and Shalai. So at least they can't take us off Llanowar Elves. And we got another Llanowar Elves, which is always nice, because now we can play Biogenic Ooze or Skarrgan Hellkite. Very, very helpful. Okay. So we're in an okay position, honestly, having Shalai out. Our mana base, we haven't drawn another land. 3 mana. Judith? Is it Judith? Is it by any chance Judith? Apparently not. No, it's just attack into my board, which is not suspicious at all. I'm going to go ahead and take the 1 damage. It does proc any of their spectacle cards, but I don't really care. Because they're either going to use 2 cards to kill Shalai, or they're going to use 2 cards to kill Shalai. I guess they could use Lava Coil, but it's a weird sequencing if they have Lava Coil in their hand, so. Okay, so I'm liking Shalai. Yep. Luckily, that doesn't kill my own Shalai. And they have to hit themselves. So Shalai, definitely great. Gotta hit yourself, bro. Lavinia is dumb. Yep. 2 cards to kill 1 of mine. I'm totally fine with that. And here, I think I guess I got Skarrgan. By Skarrgan, I have a way to just ping these down. Unless both of my Llanowar Elves die. So, maybe, yeah, I think Biogenic Ooze might just be a safer play. And we get an Omen Speaker, which is nice because it sets up my draws. I can actually get some dang lands. I'll only be able to get 1 of these because of the fact that the other would get cycled through. So I'll just pop that on the bottom, I guess, and keep the Sacred Foundry on top, so that next turn I can draw the Sacred Foundry and play out a Lyra if my creature's still alive. And Lyra should be able to seal up this game, so I definitely like the Singleton Lyra. It's possible that I need to have more Singletons at the top end, and have better cards overall, and more of them in the bottom end. So we'll see. Omen Speaker came in clutch there as a one-of. I think against red this deck does fine. Blood, sure. Ow. There's essentially no reason for me to let any... Okay, well, Scare the Critics is obviously... I'm going to take damage. And then the other ones, no. Decline. Decline. And then there's no reason to let them have this, because not only is it 3 damage to me anyway, it also gives them a Cascade. So... Alright, another land. I'm going to go ahead and pay life, which is unfortunate, but they do only have technically two total cards to do anything. I get a Rekindling Phoenix, which is always nice. No reason for me to attack here. No, because the next turn, I will just have a Lyra attacking my opponent. They have 2 cards that they have to deal with it. If they attack with Footlight Fiend, there's pretty much no way I'm blocking, because I don't want them to be able to ping down my Lyra. That's fine. Shock on probably Llanowar Elves. Oh, nope, Lyra. So they do have a Lava Coil or a Lightning Strike, which is very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Lightning Strike. I need to start killing my opponent. Rhythm of Wild is interesting. I think I will play it. I'll have 3 mana left over. I can Incubation Druid, give it haste. It doesn't really do anything. And I can get a 1/1 counter instead. I'll do Rhythm of the Wild. Actually, you know what? I should have done... Oh, well, I was going to say I should have done Incubation Druid, so I guarantee, or more or less guarantee a Navigator's Compass. So that's another reason that why that's good. I could save this Incubation Druid so I can try and hit another Navigator's Compass, but I think this is fine. And 3 mana, I can't really do anything, so I'll go ahead and just do this. So next turn I don't have to pay extra mana for anything. Can definitely attack them with the Rekindling Phoenix. Would I also attack them with the 2 4/4s? Possibly they could double block and kill one, but it's more likely that they would kill one of my Llanowar Elves. I do think I'm going to end up attacking with a 4/4, but I think I'll leave this one back. Oh, we've lost connection. Gosh dang it. I love my internet connection so much. Cool. Reconnect, please. Let's see where we're at. And this is exactly why you want to make sure you maintain getting these extra times. Because when you disconnect, having those extra timeouts can mean the difference between you losing and you not losing. Sure, so this will be another shot. Oh, Footlight Fiend. Actually, that is not very good for him. Because it does not have haste. It does not trigger Electrostatic Heal. So they have 1 card in hand to pretty much kill me this turn, or else they die. A horrible, painful death. Got him. Okay. So parts of this deck are good. Yeah, come on. Play another game. Okay. And essentially, when you're playing these sorts of decks, and these sorts of events, and I know technically this is coming in kind of late in this event's timeline, but when you're playing these types of things, what you really want to make sure you're doing is constantly reevaluating your card choices. So I think this is a fine hand. It's not great, but it is fine. I'll be able to play out a Llanowar Elves. The question really is, since my opponent goes first, what are they on? And they're on the Burn deck, and I think this deck does better against the Burn deck, which is ridiculous because of the fact that our deck is like kind of made to beat the Lavinia deck. But I didn't know all of the cards that were in Lavinia deck, and I do think that the Lavinia player had a good hand, and they went first. So this will get me nothing, and I don't think you want to put 0 drops in your deck. I don't think that is a good idea. Also, I don't think there are many in this standard format. I think they're like Mox Amber, and that's it. Looks like they're going to shock my Llanowar Elf. Yep, that's annoying, but fine. Because next turn I can go ahead and... So they're mono red, that's good to know. Next turn I can play the Sacred Foundry tapped and play out a Llanowar Elves. Or if I draw an Incubation Druid, I can play that instead. Runaway Steam Kim is a little annoying. Okay, they get that. And luckily, it comes out before that. Okay, so we actually can Clifftop Retreats, but I think it's correct to just do this into this. Llanowar Elf probably also going to die. Man, going second in this format is very bad. Very, very bad. I think next turn I pretty much have to play out the Gruul Spellbreaker. Probably going to play these Sulfur Falls out. Gives us... Hinterland Harbor gives us blue as well, and it doesn't triple green. I think Hinterland Harbor is actually the better play. Yep, that dies, which is unfortunate. And they'll shock my face. This will go up to 3. This will go up to 2, so I'll be taking 5 down to 13. Oh, right, they shocked my face, so I'm dumb. We're taking 5 down to 10. Gruul Spellbreaker. Okay, got an Incubation Druid. It's not terrible. The Spellbreaker, of course, I'm going to give a +1/+1 counter, so it is harder for my opponent to remove, and it is easier for me to block. So let's see what you're doing here. Okay, Pyromancer into a Shock. Oh, into a Lava Runner. That is less bad. Still bad, but less bad. They have 3 cards in hand. Unfortunately, their Steamkin is going to run away with it. Hit me for 2. I can block a Steamkin. Enforce a trade. Take 4 from... I'm probably not going to be able to take 4 from the Lava Runners, which is okay because we do have Rekindling Phoenix, but I do think this is probably a lost cause because we went second. So going second is very bad in this format. Yeah, we're dead. So we block here, and we block here. Because I don't need to go up to 5. The mild is kind of unnecessary here, so we're going to go ahead and Rekindling Phoenix and see what we can get. We can block that. Llanowar Elves is not what we wanted to see, because we're probably just dead to burn. But we can at least block that. So if our opponent has literally any burn, we are just dead. We die to a Pyromancer, I believe. Okay, we're actually dead. Okay, so we're going to go back to the drawing board and make a few minor changes based on what we've learned in these 3 games. Yeah, claim prize. I legit don't care. What are these? Cool, don't care. Back to the deck, into Trash. So in Trash, we had some good cards, we had some bad cards. For example, Knight of Autumn seems kind of like a necessity. Do I want Knight of Autumn over Deputy of Detention? Knight of Autumn can't hit some things, but I think for what it needs to hit, artifacts and enchantments are kind of what are necessary, but Deputy of Detention hits more. I think we're going to just up these both to 2. I think we're just going to take Spellbreaker out completely. I think that we do want another Shalai, and I think we actually want another Lyra. And honestly, Tristani is unnecessary, so we actually want things to be like that, I believe. These might honestly just be too slow, but I haven't really had a problem of getting things stuck in my hand, as much as I have a problem just surviving. I think I might need Lavinia to be a 4 of as well, to make sure we can hit Lavinia. This is fine. We have 2 Navigator's Compass. I might want more because of the number. Like, essentially, it looks like it's just Burn versus Lavinia. And against Burn, I think I might just want an additional one of these. Is there anything I would take out? I mean, I think I can just take out a Tully, right? There's pretty much does nothing. I think Mirror March, unfortunately, is too janky for this. So we might just have the 1 Ravager Wurm and try to just have even more interaction early on. It's unfortunate, but I think that's just a better way to build the deck. So let's hop back into it and see if we can do any better. I didn't mean to use money, but that's fine. Yeah, we'll just play some more games. SPG Eggplant, I don't know what that means. Navigator's Compass is nice to see. We can essentially get a +1, but unfortunately, of course, we're going second. We do keep this because we do have a 1, a 2, and a 3. But, okay, blue. Is this... Okay, so I assume this is Lavinia, which is unfortunate. And we're going to go ahead and play out a Breeding Pools. And play out the Navigator's Compass. If this is the Lavinia-style deck, sure, go through my deck, then we don't actually care as much about the life. And we want to make sure we can be able to actually play things, so... Let's see, do they have the turn 2 Lavinia on the play? White mana? No, okay. This might actually not even be a Lavinia deck. No, it's not. It is an artifact deck. Oh, opponent. You probably should not be in this format. I can't wait to die because of my smugness. Alright, next turn I get to play out a Druid. I'll go ahead and just play a Sulfur Falls, why not? Play out a Druid here, gets another Compass or a Llanowar Elf, probably a Llanowar Elf since we have more of those, yep. And then next turn we'll have 5 mana, so we could hop straight into Rekindling Phoenix and have no problem. So yeah, we can hop into Rekindling Phoenix. If they double up on something, I can Deputy of Detention. They're going to go ahead and bounce my Incubation Druid. I'm totally fine with that. Get another Gearsmith Prodigy. One thing you can do, and it looks like they might have done this, is only play a certain number, or a certain playset of a 1-of. or a 1-drop. That way you guarantee to get it after you play it too. So you can kind of thin out your deck like that. I assume they're going to attack with both, yeah, because they probably realize that I kind of need that. But I could... Oh, darn. Oh, no, I have Navigator's Compass. I could block this and just play Deputy of Detention on these two. Yeah, I think actually that's fine. I don't really have a reason to take damage from the Field Creeper. I don't need this Llanowar Elf. So my turn, I'm going to go ahead and play a Rootbound Crag. I'm going to turn this one into a Plains, play out a Deputy of Detention, and get another Llanowar Elf, which is always nice. Because now, next turn I can play Ravager Wurm. No, I can't. Look, I can't do basic math. Okay, it's fine. But next turn I can play a tapped land into a Rekindling Phoenix, so that's always nice. Another Field Creeper. Yeah, this is probably an end game here. Oh no, they have other 1-ups, or 1-drops. What do you do? Non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast. Exile it. Ooh, okay, my opponent made this deck on purpose. That sounds so bad. I'm sorry. You all know what I mean. It's fine. We'll go ahead and play out the Rekindling Phoenix. Am I going to cast Navigator's Compass? Possibly? I don't know. You can sacrifice that at any point, can't you? So I'd actually just rather play the Incubation Druid here. And just get another 1-of and see if my opponent decides to sacrifice their Mistcaller. They shouldn't. Okay, they didn't. My opponent is smart. And we'll go ahead and play another Navigator's Compass, gain a bit more life, and play out these the Steam Vents. That's dumb. Stomping Grounds is technically better. And we'll just go ahead and pass the turn. I can just start beating in with the Incubation Druid, honestly. I don't really need to, my headphone came out. I don't need to do things and junk. Sure, resolve, that's totally fine with me. I can just play Ravager Wurm and fight that. Excuse me. They don't have good attacks here. Nope. I can do this. Yep. And I assume the Mistcaller will be sacked if I get something good. Let's see. Do they want to get rid of Lavinia? They should. They didn't. Okay, well, they're not going to get a chance to do anything. Alright, cool. Cool. I mean, they could have sacked the Lavinia. Or sacked 2 Lavinia, sorry. They chose not to. Alright, let's play another game, shall we? Luckily, at least, these matches are pretty quick. So, I'll probably have a large amount of them. I need to make dinner. This hand, and I'm going first. Ooh, this hand looks like a Navigator's Compass into Lavinia instead of Llanowar Elf. So, definitely keep. Yeah, it's going to take a large amount of my life, which super sucks if my opponent is on aggro. Yeah. But I can Lavinia into another one of these or a Llanowar Elf, so actually it's not actually as bad. And even if they're able to shock Lavinia to death, I'd be able to still have extra stuff overall. Ooh, my opponent appears to be on a similar deck. Pay 2. Target this. Make this white. Lavinia. That's exactly what I wanted. And I got a Llanowar Elf out of it, so even if they are able to remove my Lavinia, I have ramped to 4. Well, potentially, if I draw land, I've ramped to 4. If not, I have to, like, play out these. But let's do... Oh, just white. Either they don't have their blue, or they're playing mono white. I'm pretty much never attacking with Lavinia, because she's too important. Cool. I can Rhythm of the Wild, which is always nice. And I believe is the correct thing to do. Let's see, I'd like an Incubation Druid so I can keep ramping. Yay! That's exactly what I wanted. A Lavinia would have sucked because we would have gotten nothing. But we'll play this into Rhythm of the Wild, and then we just pass, because I do not want to lose Lavinia to a Seal Away or anything else that deals with attacking creatures, so. Alrighty. Danathan. Okay, it seems like it's just mono white. But unfortunately for them, if it is an artifact/enchantment deck, then... Okay, so it's mono white something. If it is an artifact enchantment deck, the Cascade doesn't always work the way they might want it to. Alright, cool. We won a second game. Why not? And we were mana screwed on 2 lands. I don't know why we're running 24, but... just blazing through them. Still only at 45. Totally good with me. Alright, Gideon. Ooh, that's a no. If this were a normal Naya deck, like, and I was just playing in play mode, I would probably keep this for the memes. But when you're going second in this format, no, there's no way my Llanowar Elf survives. This is an okay hand. It's not great. It's okay. Do I want to keep a Stomping Ground? No, I think I want to find earlier interaction. Oh, like a 1 or a 2 drop. I don't think it's correct for me to not do that. Opponent is on white something. White, blue, black. So they're on Esper, and I didn't click fast enough, unfortunately, to get any real idea. So this is red-white, so I think we're going to go with this, because it gives us the most range on our following turn. So if we get Lavinia, we can play it. I hate those squelching sounds. Please don't play Lavinia. Cool. Okay. They are playing Lavinia, so I was able to see that. But it looks like, in general, they're playing a form of Lifegain. So here, I just go ahead and play a Stomping Ground. Yeah, I'll just make them think I'm Teamer. Play this. Next turn, I can play Rhythm into Rekindling into Lyra. So as long as they don't have Lavinia, I should be okay. I don't really care too much about their Lifegain. Once again, I'm going to try my best to look at their deck. I got a little bit, you know, Epicure of Blood. They had some Leonin, various Leonin cards. They're gaining a bunch of life, but that should be okay. Because we should be able to just do awesome things. I could Lavinia here, but I think I would rather Rhythm of the Wild. Plus, I could get Lavinia off Rhythm of the Wild, so I think that is the correct thing to do. So, surprise, no one expects the 4-color deck. Got a Llanowar, that's okay. I guess next turn I could play Lyra next turn? Could. Call to the Feast? Ooh, that's a yikes for me. I think I'm probably going to Lyra next turn. Jeez. They're at 42! Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Incubation Druid. I do think that Lyra is the correct thing to do here. She probably dies a horrific death, though. So I could just play Rekindling Phoenix instead. But Lyra could get a Rekindling Phoenix. Sure, I'll play another one. And that comes out first, so I can give her +1 and haste. Do I want to give her haste? Let's see. So I'd gain 6 life, 2, 4, 6, and then I'd lose 3. So I think it is better to have haste, because she's probably going to die anyway. So yeah, I want to make sure I can gain the life at least once. Apparently, if you attack fast enough, Lyra, her animation, stays around. So that's really cool. They have 2 cards left, one of which is Epicure. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses life. So that's not good. Murder! I'm so glad I attacked. So he's going to gain 4 life, and I'm going to go down to 14. Maybe I do need to cut Llanowar Guard. Wait, do I actually not have that many ETB effects? Oh, I guess I don't. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic kill. I guess I don't. So to cut Llanowar Guard might actually be... Can I look at the deck, please? Am I really not able to look at the deck from here? That's stupid. Let's just double check creatures. So we have Deputy of Detention, we have Knight of Autumn, and technically Biogenic Ooze. Oh, and Ravager Wurm. But for the most part, our deck could probably just use Tecatli. Not that, thank you. So we'll play another one. Honestly, I'm surprised at how well the deck is doing. Because I threw it together, essentially. We have Llanowar Elf, and we're going first, so we can get Rhythm of the Wild out as long as Llanowar Elf doesn't die, sure. So hopefully we're able to not have our Llanowar Elf die. And we can get Rhythm of the Wild out. Blah, blah, blah. If we can't, then we are really banking on some land draws. Right, alright, well, our Llanowar survives, so we're going to go and play Rhythm of the Wild here. Which makes their... Ooh, my god, yes. It makes their Lavinia, if they are going to be playing it, even worse. Fantastic. This is a... Absolutely they had Lavinia. Go away. This is exactly why I built the deck the way I did. Alright, let's keep going. Let's hop into some more. Probably going to go until this one loses, since we're around the, what, 50-minute mark? I spilled some of my cards on the floor. And I'm sad. I'm looking at them sad. This hand is... It's okay, because we can have a turn 2 Lavinia. And we do have Knight of Autumn to help deal with things, but the problem is that we're going second. So even though I think this hand is actually really good, it's red. So I'm a little less horrified. Once again, need to double check that my internet situation's fine. Cool, cool. So another Lavinia, just in case this one bites the dust. That's a lie. Oops. Hello. I will give you a single hello. I don't trust your oops, Skarrgan man. Gain some life, go back to 21, so, you know, this is a fair trade-off. Next turn, we can go... I touched one of the buttons on my mouse, and I don't know what it did. So this one, I can up my, what, DPI? Oh my god, it's too fast. Lower it, lower it. I think that's what I usually use. Shock my face, sure, sure. So they have Goblin and Shocky Shock. But hopefully they don't have another Shocky Shock, and I can just have my Lavinia. I was gonna say I could have my Lavinia's cake and eat it too, but adult connotations. That's all I'll say. Okay, another Lavinia. The deck really wants me to play Lavinias. We'll get Navigator. Another Navigator's Compass is totally fine, because I'll gain some more life against this aggressive deck. If Lavinia dies, that's okay. I can just play another one. I'd rather just play Knight of Autumn, which I can do since I have Navigator's Compass. Woo! But let's see. It looks like it will die to a Skewer, but dying to a Skewer is not awful, especially when you have to pay full price for it. And then they'll Lightning Strike my face, except they can't because Lavinia's still on the field. Go away. Awesome. I think I will just play another Lavinia. I think at this point I've crippled my opponent so much with the double Navigator's Compass and the amount of burn they lost with Lavinia. But I think it's fine to just play. Ooh, baby, I love your way. Well, I really just want to play Rhythm of the Wild now. No, I'm not going to. I think it's still just correct to do this the right way. I'll take this, thank you. So doing this, we're essentially making it so our opponent is just unable to really gain any sort of advantage, right? Yep, they have to shock that. Unfortunately, of course, they don't have any zero-cost cards. Oh, I should have clicked it. But, I mean, that dies, and they can play another spell. But if they play that spell this turn, they don't get that Cascade on it, so... I do not care too much. If I draw a land, I'm not going to block that at all. Oops, damage. I got a text. My apologies. And my turn. So, that's annoying, because I would have liked to land so I could play two things this turn. Is this every single turn? Each turn. I guess I'm just gonna Shalai. I think that's probably the best course of action this turn. We've slowed them down a decent amount, but I think that they do have Burn in hand. See if they use it for my face or my elf. Use it for my face? Okay. And let's see what they get. They get a shock. Is it for my elf or for my face? For my face. I'm kind of fine with that. Good to have. More mana means I can cast more things. And I will pass. No need to block the goblins because of the fact that my opponent could have something like a lightning strike. Okay, that is totally fine with me. And they get a tiny little goblin. Yep. And just for those who don't know this card, you can read it right now. I know my face, my webcam is in the way for being able to see all of the cards on the side. Someone did ask if I could, like, put my webcam, like, up here. That is something that I plan on doing at some point, but I don't have two monitors right now, so it's not something I can do right now. So let's go ahead and play Rhythm of the Wild first. I'm going to do it like this. Make white mana. I'll turn it into a plains. And then I'm going to do this, because I don't trust anything. She can tap for... Nope, I did that wrong, because I'm dumb. This needs to be red. This needs to be green. And this needs to be green. And I play Rhythm of the Wilds. Did I get a cared? The reason I'm doing this is so that I have... Alright. I was going to say the reason I can do this is so I have a better Cascade, because I can hit any of my 2-drops. But, I mean, that's fine, I guess. I kind of wasted my situation, but I'm fine. And I just passed the turn. Now my opponent can't Cascade. They can't even target Lavinia unless they get rid of Shalai. We should be in a good spot. Alright. 4 mana, pass to attackers. Let's see if they attack. I assume they will, yeah. I mean, pass to blocks. They could have a Chain Whirler. Do I care about a Chain Whirler? My Lavinia dies, but I have another Lavinia. So I think I will block this. I don't think I want to block with Shalai. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm fine taking 4, man. Oh, I guess I could have blocked with Druid. No, I want the mana. So let's see if my opponent does actually have a Chain Whirler. They don't. They have a Skewer. Which is fine, because you can't Cascade. Let's see if they still cast it. They do. I don't know why. Because they can just choose not to. And then it would still be in the deck. But yeah, I mean, they're using 2 cards from my Shalai. I have another Shalai. Oh, no. Okay, I was going to say maybe they did have a Chain Whirler as their second thing. But I can just play Shalai again. So just going to target this. Going to make some white. Going to play a Shalai. Don't mind if I get rid of your tokens. Let's go and put a 1/1 counter on it, just so it's harder to deal with. Crispy. Real crispy. Let's put a 1/1 counter on her, so she's also harder to deal with. And we'll show the good game, and we will just pass the turn. Cool. More goblins. Always nice. Even more goblins. But of course, my opponent did decide to finally not put them in play. Little Llanowar Elf is nice to see, but I think the play here is Biogenic Ooze. And at this point, we are cooking with cadmium. There we go. I did a bit of an Oprah head tilt. You get a card. You get a card. Excuse me. So we're at an hour, but I figure I'm going to go until well, I guess I only have one more game. So at this point, we broke even. So that's nice. So it shows that the deck can work. I'm very happy about that. I wasn't sure if it would, but it shows that it can. You can at least win your money back. I do think this format does require a bit of draw and stuff. And I do know that this is kind of like late, but I had like 2 other videos already planned. And I had no idea that this was a thing. Is there, after this game, I need to check if there is a, like, calendar on the site. So we're going second. I expect to lose anyway. I could mulligan to try and get a better hand for Lavinia's, but I think I'm just going to keep this kind of unfortunate hand. We can't even Navigator's Compass to play out Lavinia. But we can potentially ramp into a... Okay, interesting. We can ramp into that. That's exactly what I was thinking. So next turn, as long as our Llanowar Elves is alive, we can go ahead and play this Rootbound Crag and get a Rhythm. And Rhythm could get a Lavinia. Could also get an Incubation Druid, but could get a Lavinia. So they might be playing Gates. They are playing Gates. Gates in Cascade. I'm actually super happy about that, because it is different. So we're going to play this first and then play this. Let's see what we get. And we get a Lavinia. Cool. So, I mean, this is, once again, super good. Oh, man, this format is dumb. It's fun, but dumb. So even if they kill Lavinia, they can't really do much. One thing I do need to be wary about is they still have access to Gates Ablaze. Right, so if they play the non-gate card that comes in untapped... Okay, they didn't. But if they did play that, they would have been able to kill my Lavinia. So I think here, what I want to do is I don't actually think I want to add any more to the board. I think what I want to do is just play this Temple Garden tapped. I guess I could play Incubation Druid and give it a 1/1 counter, but it doesn't really do much. So I'd rather just Navigator's Compass and attack for 3. Because of the fact I now have the ability to just cast Lavinia on my turn and give her like a +1/+1 counter or something. Or just haste, I guess. It means that I'm fine just doing this. And I don't want to lose too much here when I'm in kind of a fine position. So let's see what they end up doing. I guess their Gatebreaker Rams are going to be kind of hard to deal with. So they do Gates Ablaze, so I'm very happy that I did what I did. And let's see if they fall for it. I need to see what my opponent is playing. Okay, they choose not to. But that is totally fine with me. Okay, Sacred Foundry, unfortunate. And I will go ahead and just Lavinia. And I think I'll just give her haste because getting +1 does pretty much nothing. Another Llanowar Elf, which will also get haste. So I can swing in. I guess 1/1 counter technically over time is better. But Lavinia gets haste. And I will go ahead and just play a Sacred Foundry tapped. I really would like to draw one of my top end cards. Like my 4 or 5 drop cards. But alas, we're not at that juncture. Could also get a Ravager Wurm and blow up one of their lands? No, I can't. These are all mana abilities. Gate Colossus. Unfortunate, but you get no Cascade, sir. The opponent is smart. They understand how this works. Gate Colossus is really frustrating. Rekindling Phoenix is great. Gives us something to do, and it gives us a Cascade. And it gives us, more importantly, a way to kill our opponent. That's kind of unfortunate, but it's fine. Phoenix, I'm going to give haste this time. I guess it... Because I'm thinking I might just want to block this. So this would be 8. It would chunk me down to 16. Or I can chunk him down to 12, and then next turn it would still be like the same. So I think I would rather just give my Phoenix a +1 count. Now I'm going to give it haste. I know I went back and forth on that, but I'm just going to give it haste and attack. And the nice thing about it is that even through board wipes, it stays around. Unless he double board wipes, which is very possible. I'd, of course, love it if they didn't. So, yeah, 8 chunk me down to 16. Potentially, I have... You know, I win this race because now I can attack with my Lavinia and my Llanowar Elves. But let's see what Senior Chungus has. Gift of Paradise, quite reasonable, but, you know, I've been denying him so many Cascades, right? This is the 3rd or 4th Cascade that I've denied my opponent. So they do get some more mana, and they get some life. And they play Guild Summit, which I currently don't care about. Have a large number of things in my deck that can deal with that. That is not one of them. And I will just go ahead and attack. I can play this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So I think I'm actually not going to attack with Llanowar Elf, just because I want to be able to Incubation Druid at instant speed. Attack in to damage. Play at a Rootbound Crag. An Incubation Druid. I am dumb. I did my math wrong. That is Not terrible, because of the fact that our Llanowar Elves are probably just going to die to a board wipe anyway. We're going to give it haste. Not really a point in giving it a 1/1 counter, because it's as it enters. But I'm dumb, since it has haste, I could have used it. I could have... Oh, no, I couldn't have blocked. Right, no, this was correct. Sorry. What I was thinking was, I can activate this and then block this, so I don't take as much damage. But then I was thinking, oh, no, but I could have just blocked and then made it bigger, but that's not how this works. It can't be blocked in the first place. So, but it has 2 cards. We have 1 card, but our board is slightly better. Even if they're able to get rid of most of our board, they put me to 11. This comes back, and I give it a +1 since it already has haste. Sure. You will draw 2 cards, and you will have 3 mana. But that doesn't really matter, because Gates of Blaze would have killed my stuff anyway. So 2 cards. I think they're going to go for Gatebreaker Ram, I assume? Although that doesn't have reach, right? Do I want to block? I mean, I might as well. Yeah, having extra mana does nothing for me. So I might as well block. Pass to damage. I guess with Biogenic Ooze it might have been better to not, but that is totally fine. Opponent is not dead yet, because I can only put them to 3. But since I have Rhythm, any creature would have been lethal. Alright, I'm going to attack with everyone. Put my opponent to 3. They need to kill me. So let's see. The worst that could happen is they play a gate, and they have Rhythm of the Wild and Gatebreaker Ram, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gates. So Gatebreaker Ram would be a 7/7. So even then, that's not enough to kill me. I guess they could have Rhythm and double Colossus? But right there, I mean, they don't have Rhythm and double Colossus. Oh, right, they drew a card. So they could still have Rhythm. No, they don't. So they don't have Rhythm and double... I'm so dumb, they can draw again. Oh, right, but they don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So actually, I forgot they had to pay mana, so they don't even have the mana. I forgot. This is 1, 2. I'm dumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 2, 2. Sure. If you attack me, that's still lethal. If you don't attack me, that's still lethal. Darn, it's no longer lethal. But you still die in 2 turns. If you attack me, it's lethal. Okay, my opponent obviously has some sort of trick up their sleeve. What? Right? They had to have something. Bruh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lands. 9! They should be dead. I'm a little worried that they have a trick. I didn't see anything though. I wasn't able to click on time. I mean, I attack here. There's like no way I can't. Do they have a trick? Yes. We won with this stupid deck. Lavinia plus Rhythm of Wilds was enough to get us there. We won 50 gold and 2 random cards. We won 50 gold and 2 random cards. Barely worth it, but I hope you guys liked this stupid video. So just once again, the trash deck for you all. It's this. Absolutely weird. The mana was dumb that last game. I don't know why, but yeah, this is another one of those super long ones, but I hope you guys don't mind. I would, of course, love to thank my lovely patrons, especially Salamander and Jiraga, for their and Croft. I'm trash. For their continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the channel, you'll find links to that down in the description below, as well as links to the Discord server where you can find people to play games with, and it's awesome. And the 8th Hub account where I host all of my deck lists, including this one. And yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this video, even though it's a bit of a long one. And if you did, go and tap that like button, add a subscription to your mana pool, cast a comment in the comment section down below, and pass the turn and the video to some of your friends. And until next time, all will be one.